What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we got chapter 537 of Kingdom. So this chapter we got to see the full extent of what Ohan saw last chapter and what insight this new view of the generals gave him, and here's my opinions on it. It was an extremely smart move, but at the same time I low-key feel like he accomplished this way too easily. Like, keeping in mind the situation he was in, the fact that he was almost completely surrounded by the Gakure army and the Chogan Ryu army, and after sending the bulk of his main army to retreat in the only direction that he wasn't surrounded from, Ohan with less than 1,000 troops ran all the way through this clusterfuck of enemy forces and managed to escape. I kind of feel like he managed to do this a little too easily, and I would have loved to have seen a bit more of a struggle from them to accomplish something so crippling to the enemy team. Like, think back to the Battle of Bayo, for example, when Oki sent Shin out to go deal with Fuki. I'm sure we all remember the struggle Shin went through to push such a small number of forces through the enemy ranks. Like, that's the kind of tension and resistance I think we should have seen from a situation like this one. But that definitely doesn't take away from the fact that this was a genius play from Ohan. For him to have been able to see all of this from all the way over on the opposite side of the battlefield not only speaks for his amazing strategic skill, but for fuck's sake, this guy must have some god tier eyesight. I guess it just runs in the family. But you could tell that Ohan was just so drawn into what he was planning because he was completely oblivious to everything else that was going on around him. He told Kanjo to get Banyo for him last chapter, and although he had already arrived early on in this chapter, Ohan was so focused that he didn't even realize it. So again, this was an amazing play by Ohan. I feel like the real reason why we didn't see such an in-depth struggle for this move to be possible is due to the sheer amount of things that are going on in this war, and not the fact that it was just that easy for Ohan to do, because it was stated in this chapter that he did end up losing a substantial amount of forces. I think it just all boils down to the fact that we've got multiple large-scale wars going on in multiple different locations, each one just as important as the other. So if Hara was to dive so deeply into each one, giving us every little bit of detail, the pacing would be completely fucked up. So I don't really see it as too much of a problem. But following the events of this chapter, it would be really interesting to see how the enemy react to a move like this though. I'm not really too sure what the situation looks like on the right side of this battlefield where Ohan originally started. Like, did the rest of his unit make it out safely? Did the reinforcements Arko sent over to him even arrive and engage in battle yet? And if everyone did make it out safely, then what moves would the Gakure and the Chogan Ryu armies make next? Like, will they support Bananji, or will they continue to chase down the bulk of Ohan's unit fleeing from that side of the battlefield? I also hope we get to see a continuation of the Bananji versus Ohan fight that we saw on day 1, cause that started off kind of hype. Like, it would be really good to see that finish. I'm kind of hoping that Ohan is the one to take him down again instead of Arko. I also like how we got to see a detailed breakdown of the formations. Like, obviously the line formation is the most popular one used throughout Kingdom, but it was really interesting to see how they break down its weaknesses and how they counteract those weaknesses by intercepting the forces that try and flank them from behind, using reserves and stuff. Like, it was good to see that breakdown on screen with Hara's little diagrams. Like, I always love seeing Hara's diagrams. Overall, I'm gonna rate this chapter an 8 out of 10, but let me know what you guys think and what you guys hope to see moving forward. Are you guys impressed by Ohan's strategies? Do you want to see him take out Bananji? And have you subscribed yet? Because if not, you should definitely do that. Like the video if you did, people, and I appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
1.